I think it's pretty safe to say that the future of the Star Wars franchise seems to be quite expansive, not just with their books, novels, comics, and video games, but also, let's not forget about their live-action Star Wars TV series, and of course the new Star Wars TV shows and movies to come in the near future that's really going to make up this new universe that Disney and Lucasfilm are actively developing as we speak. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, the great thing about the future of Star Wars so far is the fact that Kathleen Kennedy no longer has creative control over pretty much all of the existing Star Wars projects in the early development phase. All but 2 projects are going to be led by Kathleen Kennedy, and that is, of course, the Leslye Headland Star Wars TV show, and let's not forget about the recent one that was, of course, being worked on is the animated TV series for Disney+. We're not quite sure if it's going to be in the form of CG or if it's going to be in the form of 2D, we're not quite sure. But one thing is for certain is that Kathleen Kennedy is only involved with those 2 projects and those 2 projects alone. And that to me just tells us that Star Wars really is taking a turn for the best. It really is going to shape up as we know it. Now, on top of all this, of course, the Leslye Headland Star Wars TV show, there's a main reason as to why a lot of fans out there, including myself, am 100% against this show, is because they are going to focus primarily on identity politics, real-world issues, and personal agendas over story, and that to me just sounds like a recipe for disaster, to say the least. Now, with that all being said, of course, what's really interesting that all has to do with Lucasfilm is that Disney and Lucasfilm are currently developing a brand new expanded universe, and even a new Star Wars trilogy of films for the fans to enjoy around the world. Now, they have over 10 years worth of projects in the works for Disney Plus alone, for starters, and that is all separate from the new films that are actively being developed. However, one project in the works is the Leslye Headland Star Wars TV series, in which the writing of the scripts began not too long ago by Leslye Headland, and that Brie Larson is said to be involved as a lead role in the film to portray a special character for the new Star Wars series. Now, it's said that behind the scenes, Brie Larson has been given the opportunity by Leslye Headland to choose her own recommended actors to come on board of this new Star Wars TV show like this, and that Headland is allowing Brie Larson to give Leslye the advice that she needs of what actors need to become a part of the new Star Wars universe for this franchise. Now, Brie Larson is said to be the one who recommended Ruby Rose from the Batwoman TV show, and that Brie is going to recommend others to become a part of the Star Wars series. Let me just say one thing right here is the fact that they're focusing on Brie Larson having a role in choosing, which actors are going to come on board and portray major roles in this series, that to me sounds like a very bad idea. Not just because it's Brie Larson, but also just because it's an actor. When you have an actor, especially like Brie Larson, given the opportunity to choose or to recommend specific actors to the writer or the director of who's going to be a part of this new Star Wars series, that to me just sounds like it almost becomes as if the actor is pretty much, becoming like a writer or a director, or more so involved on the creative side, right? Not necessarily of the performance side of things. So, Brie Larson being involved with this, it just sounds like a disaster to me. I don't know what they're doing over at Lucasfilm, even allowing this to happen to begin with. We do know that Bob Iger and Bob Chapek are very much against the idea of Leslye Headland even being a part of this new show, because of Kathleen Kennedy having the creative power to really allow Headland to come on board as a writer. So this month is going to be a busy, busy month for Leslye Headland. This is where a lot of the writing is already starting as we speak, and everything is going to start unraveling at that point once we hit August of this year, where we're going to learn more and more about the future of Star Wars in general. Now, beyond this, and not just that, but also Brie Larson is described to become a brand new Jedi Master that will be described as one of the most powerful Jedi there is, even more powerful than Rey in the sequel trilogy films in this brand new timeline that will be introduced in the near future on Disney+. Now, we do know that this show has been in negotiations on whether or not it's going to be a post-Episode 9 era, or an era that's going to take place 200 years before The Phantom Menace, aka the High Republic era. So, Headland, let me just say one thing right here, right now, is that she has said before in the past that she doesn't really have a favorite Star Wars film, and that she's really not all that engaged with Star Wars. To me, it sounds like she's just hopping on board here to use the Star Wars brand as a label, to put it on top of her own project that she wants to show off to the world. That's how I at least see things. And this Brie Larson scenario of allowing her to kind of tap into choosing what actors and actresses should become a part of the new EU, that to me just sounds like it's going to be pretty much a train wreck in my opinion right here. So with that being said, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.